Where are you so many days? Exam. Near that head. I saw you today. I was in your rickshaw and I saw you from the side. ये पहनती है समझा ही नहीं. लेकिन देख के doubt है maybe you because 8 पे I see only you get covered at all. And it was raining, so I couldn't make it stop and peek behind the bus. तो उधर भी वो gate है ना वहाँ पे metro का. I come from there. I stay on the other side. So you just got out of that society. So next society है ना पीछे से शुभ्रा. पीछे वो clearly समझा नहीं but I said next time I stop and get it. Yeah. Chalo we want to. That's when maybe trees, no? Completed. Because of speech. Everything I get except speech. Things are done, no? That first time you was what do you want? 40. I'm not saying this. I think it is. And that's it. Others are in science, it's what that's it. Science 37 and maths 7. And English. Candidates related. It is less than 31 also. Yes. But it's all this we finished point from the diary Amanda Genesis peace and here yes and first also I think now we have to digital the author and oh Madam writes the bus. Who ordinarily that's the final acceptable and say often is good. I would like to receive that for you. Also, this dialogue for me. Page number represent norms. Yes, and then it's fine. Chapter 8. That is one name. We can upload and type very good. Next section. That was today. How did it go? 20 months. Isn't it? That's why I think the 1 month I forgot to write it there. Okay, the teacher is correcting the paper. She was going to snatch and I just. Sorry. That does not display. He wanted to win his trust. He wanted him to share his thoughts without question. He wanted him to become yes. He wanted to keep it safe. And what is it? I might be stupid. See, he wanted him to feel comfortable revealing more details. It is as confidence. No, means you. I might be able to get governments for once. This is just. So he wanted to share his thoughts without question. He is almost like other things you will talk about this. Of the emergency, you know. And down there, of course, by 1 month. That's why I was saying to the hospital. Because they will something from opening. Maybe MCQ. Oh, one of the above. Except it's just a phase, or it's my hands. He is one for 10. Okay, so the condition was not there. Why was it big first? Because he was getting an observation from the other side of the house. So he was feeding the house first. That is why. Why did this conflict go to the if I forgot to write in the dialogue, I didn't go for it. Question is why she was protective, she was protective. Because of the scenes, grandmother grandma. Yeah, so later which one put it? At the other one. Editor only. Use the format that I yes. I first I asked first. It is a plan to please no condition hash, finishing dash, gender equality. Hash has a thing. The dog crash under the chair before the children finds. Residents are requested to segregate the waste to the residents. But or to other. So the water and see my secretary working in China. How much you go? Okay, first of the driving license we did the chapter, so now it is sorry for this. So first time yeah, it first time we did the administration, so it's a and and then repetition next time. Little also little repetition. Then it's the next two lines and go and go. And see first lines again has an aggregation now from the name. Next two lines again and the anaphora. You are not able to understand. What have you marked in now? We learned by the mark. Because the second para first time. Now the name. So now name is adaptation. Third and fourth, second and third line and the anaphora. Next, fourth line covered custard adaptation. Third para second line spikes, scales, adaptation. Mouth like simply mouth like very good. Mouth like a fire place simply. Simply for the nose. And up for the video. Sure. No. That is this. It does. Why have some? That's no problem. That is poetic colors. Poetic colors. Means real and true. Poetic colors. Next, para poetic colors. Poetic colors. Poetic license. Poetic license. Poetic license. Next, last para. Melinda, brave, parent, bears, alliteration. Next para. Mustard was as brave as a cycle in great civility. Second line. And it can complete reputation. Mustard cried, cave, alliteration. Did I teach this? And I don't last week. I will not typical repetition. And perceivable is allusion. Then next time laugh, little, alliteration. Again, that your is poetic license. And next time, she should alliteration. It should not. No. It's alliteration. That is shook the house will be giggle till she shook the house will be hyperbole. There is alliteration also, of course, but there is hyperbole also. What is hyperbole? The answer is actually said. Exaggeration. So she giggled till she shook the house. The house will not going to shake. That's hyperbole. What's the spelling in our writing? I think. Then peak is an onomatopoeia, and Link said peak, which has so first you write it as an onomatopoeia because that word is there, and then second would be peak, which would be allocate. More obvious is onomatopoeia. What spelling of onomatopoeia I would write it? Last line, custard, fried, age, and then next line, first line, suddenly, alliteration also. So repetition is suddenly, and alliteration is as suddenly. Next line, there is as soon as, and all around. Then meouch is again onomatopoeia. And all around. And all around. That is not alliteration, that is assonance. Repetition of vowel sound. Then meouch, onomatopoeia again. Binda. Poetic license, binda. Next line. Repetition. Next line is alliteration. Yes, he held his alliteration. Next line. Yes. Who are there? Beard black and was wood. Then next line, first line again, very head. Repetition. Next para, second line. Flash the state line. Next line, first, most obvious first is plateau, plan, onomatopoeia. Plateau, plan, and chanting. This is onomatopoeia. And second, you can write alliteration because plateau, plan, yes, then pirate, then type of pirate, like simile. Then next is that same time, when at the pirate, there is alliteration also where and next para second line, girl, log, alliteration. Girl, some log alliteration. Then next page, third line. Ink and blue is which one? Woodlands but alliteration. Next page, third line, beauty pirate. Alliteration. Alliteration. There is no order. Pirate is going down in circles. Next line, around age, assonance, and alliteration. Yeah. Next para, third line, and up and repetition. Up spoke, sorry, not spoke is good. And up spoke, and up spoke. Next line, or repetition, or repetition, alliteration. Being brave and 3 times 8. Then we one line next line. That everybody favor that. So that alliteration. Next para first line, Belinda lives little and her house alliteration. Next line, repetition, little. Yeah, but then there is this. There is repetition in that line also, and her little yellow, and her little, and her little, and her little is repeated. And that line and the next line is anaphora, and her, and her. Which one? Mario, Julio, again, poetic passages. The same as that para. Then, first line, simile. Yes, simile. Then there's alliteration also. There is repetition also as repeated. And alliteration is Belinda, Mario, beds. Next line again, there is repetition of and then and. Okay, next line, mustard is as praise, simile. Last line again, it's a adaptation custard and now we got that the column different. Yeah, how will I that? We want to we do in order now. So Mijbil the order. About this man who brings this otter as a pet. Otter is this animal you can see. How it looks like a sheep, but it's small, and he gets a baby otter. So he talks about his experience with that otter, how he got trained. The first he was not friendly with it, how he slowly became friendly. And he talks about an experience when he was taken by flight. So what he did in the cage, with everything, and there was blood all over. Then when we pulled the flight, he escaped from that box in which he was. So he talks about that experience. Then he talks about him going back to his house and his experience, how you take a dog now on the leash, like that he used to take, and how his behavior used to follow. So it's very tense. So first is before you read. This part I read and then we before you read Gavin Maxwell is in a portrait. It's written by Gavin Maxwell in Canvas-Kyoto in the West Highlands in Scotland. When his dog Johnny died, Maxwell was too sad to think of picking a dog again. Correct? Because when you have one pet and you lose that pet, then you don't want to pick another one. But then the loss. Yes, and you become so attached that you are animal therapy. But life without a pet was lonely. See what happened there in Maxwell's own. So I mean, you all want to read? Yes. Most of you all want to read. Other than you? Yes. Gosh. Read the small first one. Then make them read more. थोड़ा practice reading का होना चाहिए भाई. Early in the year of 1956, I traveled to southern Iran. But then it was crossed my mind that I should like to keep that otter instead of dog. And that was very scary. In my pocket, a stone thrown from its load would be an entire MEP, suitable spot for an elementary, suitable spot for this experiment. So what he wanted to do? An otter as a pet. And he's saying that chemistry, which is in which place Scotland. Chemistry being by water at a stone's throw from its flow. Means there is marshy land nearby water. Stone's throw means nearby. Like if you say in particular. So you stay at a stone's throw from you, as then you are more to a particular place. So would be an eminently suitable spot means see eminently what is not given. But it would be an ideal place to perform this experiment. What is the experiment? Yeah. Yes, keeping an otter as a pet. Yes. But ideal spot. Casually concerned friends, he has casually replied that I have better get one in the various markets. For there, they were as common as mosquitoes and were often tamed by the Arabs. We were going to Basra to consulate general to collect an answer for a claim from Europe at the
At the consulate general, we found that my friend's name had a right but that mine had not.
So what did you understand from this paragraph? Which place did he suggest I that you better go to Tigris marshes? Tigris marshes is it? Yeah. But they were as common as mosquitoes. What does this phrase mean? No, in the Tigris marshes, they were easily found. Like how in marshy areas we find a lot of mosquitoes. Like that, found a lot of otters in this area. They were as common as mosquitoes. And were often tamed by the Arabs as pets. We were going to Basra. Basra is a place which is in Iraq only. So the friend suggested we are anyway going there. So you might as well see an auto over there. To the consulate general to collect an answer a mail from Europe. So what was going to happen is they were going to receive a mail from Europe. At the consulate general, he found that my friend's mail had arrived, but mine had not. So that's why the friend's work was done, but he was delayed and had to stay back. So it is afterwards that his friend sends him as a this animal and author as a friend, as a pet. True friends. Okay.
And they were doing that. And then 3 days later, and I tried to report the call had to go to festival hours 3 months. He proceeded the 9 months out of order. On the second day, she was for religious holiday. The third there was another withdrawal. My friend left and I arranged me each time. I raised Victor not here.
So what happened now? But what had happened? I cabled to England. Sent a message to England. Okay. And then 3 days later, nothing happened. I called because he was supposed to receive that change. Like what the Indian embassy. So I tried to telephone. Now during those days, telephones, international calls had to be booked 24 hours in advance. It was not like it is today. So what are the problems that he faced on the first day, second day, third day? First day, what happened? Out of order. Second day, what happened? Religious holiday. Exchange was closed for a religious holiday. Exchange means a telephone exchange. There is an operator who used to call. She used to call that place and she used to call your place and she used to connect the line. So second day the exchange was closed and on the third day there was another breakdown. Okay, so what happened to the friend? He left and this one stayed and maximum. How many days later did he arrive? 5 days later. You can continue.
Carried it to my bedroom to read. And then squatting on the floor where two Arabs. Beside them, we had sat that spoke from time to time. They handed me a note from my friend. Here is your order.
So what did he do? He got that mail and he went to his bedroom to read it. What was there? Was there? Arabs were there, squatting on the floor, sitting on the floor with crossed legs. And what was there? What had they got with themselves? There was one sack. The water was actually inside it. So he didn't know. So there was a sack which squirmed from time. Squirmed means that animal inside was moving. No? That's what squirming. That sack was moving. And who had given this gift? His friend. Because the friend has given a note and he's saying, here is your order and dot dot dot. Something else was what you got. But this was a main friend. Okay, thanks.
With the opening of that sack began a phase of my life that has not yet ended and may for all I know not end before. I knew it is in effect.
Before I do full stop.
It is in effect a threat to
See background. Being under the control of
authors and other fiction that
fixation.
fixation that I have since found to be shared by most other people who have ever.
So auto fixation means he is so attached, so connected to the, what are you laughing about? He is so connected to the animal, to the auto. The fixation is like more like an addiction. Okay? And he's got so bonded well with the auto, with his pet, that he should continue for it. Okay, read the next paragraph. So.
The creature that emerged from this sat on to the spacious tiled floor of the consulate bedroom. It simple most of all a very small pixel,
Medieval.
considerable from the head to the tip of the tail. He was coated with symmetrical pointed scales of mud and more between whose tips was visible a soft velvet fur like that of a chocolate brown mole. He shook himself, and I half expected a cloud of dust, but in a fact it was not for another month that I managed to remove the last of the mud and see the otter as it were in these two colors.
So what did you all understand from this? What? Huh? Sorry.
Physically.
Yes, how it appeared and how dirty it was. See, he's saying that it looked like a small medievally conceived dragon. See, medievally means Middle Ages. So it looked like a dragon. Now, why it looked like a dragon? He's saying, how is a dragon? With scales on it, no? So this, it's not that an otter has scales. An otter has smooth fur on it. But why that appeared like scales? Yes, it lives in the marshes, which is very muddy. So that mud had completely dried. So it had hardened. Okay. See, he's saying that it was coated with symmetrical pointed scales of mud armor. What is an armor? When you fight a war to protect, to defend yourself, you use an armor. So it was so hard that they're calling it an armor of mud, between whose tips was visible a soft velvet fur like that of a chocolate brown mole. Mole is a rat. It's like a rat. So its actual fur was how? Smooth and what color?
Chocolate brown.
Chocolate brown. He shook himself and I half expected a cloud of dust. So when you're filled with dust and the animal shakes, like you must have seen dogs shaking themselves. So what happened? What would be expected that all the dust would fly off? But did that happen? No, that didn't happen. Because it was so thick and so stuck to its fur that he said it took almost another month for it to get removed. See, he shook himself and I half expected a cloud of dust, but in fact, it was not for another month that I managed to remove the last of the mud and see the otter as it were in his true colors. Means its real original self became clear only after one complete month because there was so much mud on it which was wet, it was thick layer of mud which had dried up. It was not dust. How is it in the marshes? Kitchen, pura kitchen, right? So imagine kitchen which has dried. So it will take time for it to be removed completely. So it took how much time? 1 more month for it to be out of itself.
As I called the observer, was in fact upon days, it is the unknown to science and was at then listed by geologists. So here
Or specialata.
maps really or that data
First space in order, okay, read properly. First space, see the alphabet. So first space is data.
maps maybe or that scales or the for the first 24 hours, it was either hostile or friendly. For 50 other different things was the food as far as possible. The second night, body there. The bathroom. There, for half an hour, wait while enjoy the water, something and watching.
Energy is dying.
Boiling it, then up and down the lake of water, taking enough stores and splash water on the pool. This I want to learn, it's a characteristic of waters. Every drop of water must be so explained about the waves. A bowl must at once overturn, or if it will not be overturned, these added hands, stores, and then take over food. Water must be kept on the move and making the things. And static, it is wasted.
What are they talking about here? How much it loves water. First para, in this para in the beginning, what have they written? The scientific meaning of the otter. So what is the scientific name? See, when questioned by zoologists, question named. So what did they name him? Name this animal. Jojo perspicillata maxwell. That's the scientific name. Or Maxwell's otter. Now next part he is talking about his animal's behavior in the beginning. So he says for the first 24 hours, he was neither hostile nor friendly. Hostile, see what is given on the side? Unfriendly. So he was staying a little aloof because he still not got that comfort from his master, but he doesn't recognize it. So he was neither friendly nor unfriendly. He was simply aloof and indifferent. Aloof means dur rakhna khud ko, distance. Choosing to sleep on the floor as far from my bed as possible. This will happen if you get any new pet in your house. Second night, it got a little comfortable. So what did the animal do on the second night? See, yes, he came on the bed and remained asleep in the crook of his knees. Crook, right down back. Okay, so it slept closer to him and slept right up till morning, which in the second night it got a bit comfortable. Second night it got comfortable. During the day, he began to lose his apathy. Apathy, see, absence of interest. He started interacting more. On which day? On the second day. And took interest in his surroundings. What did the author do? What did he make for him? He made for him a body belt. That's like a leash. Okay? And took him on a lead to the bathroom. Where for half an hour on the lead means you used to take him there because of the leash belt. So he used to enjoy in the water. He went wild with joy, plunging and rolling in it. Plunging is diving. Shooting up and down the length of the bathtub underwater, enough to make enough slosh and splash. What is this? The water splashing all around. So it started playing in the water. So then he understood that this is a characteristic feature of otters, that otters love water. Okay, because they live in water. So they love water. Every drop of water must be, so to speak, extended and spread about the place. Means any little bit of water also they find, they'll play with it. A bowl must first be overturned, or if not overturned, it will be sat in. If they don't overturn it, they will sit in it. I'm going to ask you the meaning of this entire. Okay? Water must be kept on the move and made to do things. Made to do things means you have to fidget, you have to play. It means water has to play in the water. And then static. Static, what is the meaning of static? Stationary. When it is in one place, it is wasted and provoking. Provoking means destroy. disturbing it angers them. They get irritated. Okay. So what are the three major things that have been told in this first of tell me who will explain the entire part? Okay, Karen. First beginning we have spoken about the scientific name. Maxwell or simply Maxwell's formula. Now about its behavior. Now about its behavior. So how it got corner come to this corner and say, wow. But why means I'm telling you to.
This as far as possible, as far as possible, and second night, so they are comfortable and bed there.
That part of group of business. The next morning, he was served the dinner. Then about which the food water. Anyone else you all want to try? You all also in the same class as she is. You all want to try the at least one part of it? Sorry. It's not forward, okay? Say we have immediately miss out something out there. That what it used to do, he made a leash, he used to take to the bathroom, and then what it used to do? Splash about it the water and fill up water. So yes, how do you go from that? Every drop of water, they enjoy it, must be a bowl. If not, if they don't overturn it, they will sit inside it. Fill up water, so. And water that is wasted is provoke. Pain. Yes. Can please. Who is later?
2 days later, Mijbil escaped from our building, and as I entered it, and I turned to see if his sitting is sitting around the bend of the corridor. That led to the bathroom. By the time I got there, he was up to the up on the end of the bathtub, fumbling at the end.
Normally at the
chromium taps. With this force. I was amazed in less than a minute. He had turned the tap far enough to produce a trickle of water, and after a moment or two, achieved the full flow. He had paid lucky to turn on the tap the right way. On later, occasionally, he would sometimes still tighter, security, with irritation and disappointment. And then that stated to cooperate.
So what experience has he spoken about here? At that room. And as I entered it, I turned to see his tail disappearing from the bend of the corridor that led to the bathroom. Even 2 days he came to know where the bathroom is. And he went. How he could identify? Because he saw his tail at the end when he was taking a turn towards the bathroom. Then what did he do? He was at the bathtub near the taps. Because he was so intelligent, he even learned how to he knew that water comes when you turn this. So he didn't know in which direction. But by chance on that day, he turned it and water started trickling on. Okay. Then he think on other occasions, he used to trap it by fluke, but he's saying on the other days, he used to make it even more tight instead of loosening it. And then he used to get irritated because it's tightening and there's no water coming out. So that experiences that by chance he happened, but then this also shows his intelligence. Just the second day. Correct? Yes.
Very soon, yes, with all of these around the late and don't think it's only when I got this. He spent most of the music science day. He spent hours at the rubber board around the room like a 4 to 6 of there. Using his own 4 beats to deliver the balls. And he could also pour it with a powerful play for the next set goes under the high and distance. But the real play of water is when he lies on his back and the river spits out with small objects that get his paws. Marbles, more nets, favorite toys for the last time. We would die to down and start holding two or more of them up and down his life. That very without ever dropping onto the floor.
So what are they spoken about now explains? Let someone else explain the voice spread. So boys explain this para.
We used to come to Arizona when I was boys and then we used to play football, football with a rubber ball.
Rubber ball, he was small, no? So he used to play with small rubber balls. Like a 4-footed soccer player. And
We used to dribble the ball and then get the ball very powerfully.
yeah.
And we used to dribble small objects in sports.
And what was his favorite?
Past time.
Marbles. Marbles were his favorite. And what was the best thing? When it lies on its back and juggles with all it's all 4 paws. And what else it used to do? With its nose. See, it's saying that we used to flip off the neck. So powerful flip of the neck means using its head it used to hit the ball. See, to a surprising height and distance. Okay, and then what else? Marbles are a favorite pastime. To lie on his back, rolling 2 or more of them. You're not juggling, na? So he used to, so 2 are also difficult. He used to, being so small, he used to juggle 2 or more of those marbles without ever dropping one to the floor. Okay, next para.
The days passed peacefully at Pasra. When I graduated as a professor of transport next engineer. And 2 camps there now. The British Atlantic Ocean of land and stuff Paris on another island. From there to London, the airline said that actually back to box not for the 18 inches will be carried on the floor at my feet. I had a box made and now before we started, I put it into the box so that we could become accustomed to it and let for a reading.
What are they spoken in this you explained?
We wanted to ask for next to exam
Yeah. Where was he right now?
because I say
In Iraq, in Basra, he wanted to go back to Kansas.
British and did not allow items.
Yeah.
So we booked the flight to Paris. Then
And what were the requirements? The box has to reach 18 inches square and where it has to be placed? Down at his feet.
so we had a box.
Yeah.
And we placed the box at his feet.
No, he put Midge in that. An hour before we started, I put Midge into the box.
So that we could become used to it.
Used to it because very soon they are going to fly. So in advance only, what I put Midge in the box and and he kept him. Where did he go?
For me.
For a quick.
When I returned, there was an appearance.
A morning spectacle, a funny scene, a shocking scene.
There was complete silence from the box, but from its elbows and chin around the late girls had wicked and cried. I moved off the log and tore open the lid and made exhausted and blood parted with hope and paused at my leg. He had torn the line of the box to shreds. When I removed the last of it so that there were no cutting edges left, it was just 10 minutes until the time of the flight. And the airport was 5 miles distant. I put the miserable glitch back into the box, holding down the lid with my hand.
What had happened now? Yeah, what happened when he comes back? Yes. There was silence, and what had happened? Yes, there was one blood spatter. Yeah, when I returned, there was an appalling spectacle. Appalling is very shocking, surprising thing that had happened. There was complete silence, means he might have felt where Mitch has gone, whether he's disappeared or he's dead inside. But from its air holes and chinks around the lid, blood had trickled and dried. Trickled is blood had flowed down and it had dried. He could see that. I ripped off the lock and tore open the lid. So he obviously opened it because he wants to know what it is. And Mitch, exhausted and blood spattered. Blood spattered means there was all blood around his face. So what he had tried to do? Tried to move out of that. So he tried to tear everything. And it has metal or maybe some plastic, the edges of which must have hurt him and blood had started flowing. So he was blood spattered, he whimpered and caught at my leg. Whimpered is crying. How dogs cry, you know that crying sound. So he whimpered and caught his leg. He had torn the lining of the box to shreds. When I removed the last of it so that there were no cutting edges there, means he had torn it, no? So there were some sharp edges there. So he couldn't make another box now. So he could at least repair it from inside and remove all those sharp edges. So that's what Maxwell did. Now, how much time there was? It was just 10 minutes. And how far was the airport? 5 miles. He put it back into the box, holding the lid now with his hand. Now, next para talks about him going at a fast pace in a taxi, the airport. Sorry. What was that?
I sat in the back of the car with the box beside and the driver told this star like a
It was she. It's pronounced as it was she. Because you see a bullet that changes direction after hitting a circle. That's how you hit a spin ball that goes in any direction.
the aircraft was take off. I was just so to it by
Infuriated, angry. Because he was delayed, no?
the previously put on for that and I covered the my newspaper and for the air conspiracy and gave for a parcel of breaks for them. I think that into my confidence about the things of the last part, I have gained the most profound admiration for that air hostess. She was the very district that I can take the part and take on. And I think that is of my gratitude. But I was quite prepared for
Okay, so you explain now to Sarah.
From the driver took the car like
It was shaping at a fast speed.
little fast.
Now what happens at the
Give the parcel of fish to the air hostess to keep it in a cool place and
and what act of kindness did the lady do? She allowed the box. keep it on his lap, right? To keep it on his lap because it was actually not allowed. But he must have seen on the panic and the fear that she allowed him to on his lap. Then what is he saying about the air hostess? That he has a lot of admiration and gratitude for her.
It was a very famous brand.
What? That the no, she knew. She knew, but because of the fear in him at that time, and maybe for the comfort of the animal also, she allowed me. Although it was not allowed. Whether it's an otter or any animal, you're not allowed to perform that dog with you. That is what I meant. Right? But then she showed some empathy and she allowed him. And then he's saying that I appreciate and I have a lot of gratitude for this. Then he talks about I was quite unprepared for what followed. So now again, what happened next was something that's good, that was unexpected. See, you can see which has been actually let loose, is out of the box. Actually, previous one you see, you feel it's big, but then you see it's small. Okay, because that box was not closed properly, na? It was torn open and in a hurry, he had just shut it. Now, which comes out of this. So,
It was out of the box in a flash. They disappeared at a very high speeds down the aircraft. There were squawks and shakes, and a woman stood on a seat, screaming out, a rat, a rat. I caught the sight of Meds, tail disappearing behind the legs. Fourthly, wide the bank Indian, diving for it. I missed, but found my face covered in curry. Perhaps, said the air hostess with the most charming smile, it would be better if you resumed your seat, and I will find the animal and get it for you. I returned to my seat. I was
craving my neck.
craning my neck, trying to follow the hunt. When suddenly I heard from my feet a distressing chitter, chitter of recognition and welcome. And Mitch bounded on my knee and began to measure my face and neck and my neck.
So what happened now? Everyone started panicking. They thought it's a rat. Then they have spoken about this man in the turban. Portly clearance out white turban Indian, so it went below his seat. And he dived for it and missed, but I found my face covered in curry. There was chaos all over. Then what did the air hostess suggest? It would be better if you go back to your seat and say, I will find it for you. Then what happened? He went back. He says, I was craning my neck. Means what? Craning means trying to strain my neck. Pull my neck and see, because he's trying to see if Mitch is around. And then what happened? How did he find Mitch? The air hostess bring him? No. How did he find him?
He was in his
See the last para? He came back. He heard at his feet a distressed chitter of recognition. Means what? Mitch recognized its master. And he came back. Chitter is that sound. And Mitch bounded onto my knee. He climbed up quickly to his knee and began to nuzzle at my face and neck. Nuzzle means rub gently with the nose. How dogs do when they treat you, your pet dogs, right? So that's what happened. So finally he was found dead. Okay, then next.
Richard, I remained in London for nearly a month. He would take for hours with a selection of words, ping pong words, marbles, working, and chair.
Terrapin, the shell of a small turtle found in North America. So here we are talking about the things that he did.
RAKHI, then I had bought platforms headed the masses, with the ping pong balls in particular, game of his own, he invented something. But then a game of his own, which would keep him across or up to half an hour at a time. The suitcase that I had taken to Iraq had became damaged from the journey. So that there, when those he made a suit from one of the other, which discovered that if the base was on the high and it would run down the length of the suitcase, it would dash the gas down to the other angular push. Its arrival height from it down to the sprinter and take it by sunrise. Grab it and operate it to the high and
So first we have spoken about the things that he used to play with. What are those things? See the first few lines. Then he invented a game of his own which he used to play along. About that suitcase, what he used to do? What he used to do with it?
basically higher end of the
Yes, the suitcase had got damaged. So imagine if this is the suitcase, it stays a little open. Okay? So there's a problem with it. So then here this part is slanting, no? So it used to on its own go to the higher end, beat the what was that he used to play with the ball? What is the thing he used to ping pong ball? With the ping pong ball. So he used to place it here and it used to come down. He himself used to come here, take it again, go on the top, go this side, again place it here. So this he used to play continuously for hours.